In a quiet corner of a vast green meadow, a tiny cricket stirs. This isn't just any cricket. This is our hero, Pip. Born under a blanket of dewkissed clover, Pip's world was small, but his dreams were as big as the sky above. While other crickets were content with their nightly chirps, Pip felt a different rhythm in his heart, a melody that whispered of distant lands and unseen wonders. He heard tales from the wind, stories of the sunken grove, a legendary place where the moonlight was said to sing back to those who dared to find it. This was his awakening, the moment a simple cricket decided he was meant for more than just the familiar blades of grass. He was meant for a grand adventure, with a heart full of courage and a song on his wings. Pip said goodbye to his home. The journey began. His first steps, or rather hops, were filled with a mix of excitement and fear. The world was so much bigger than he had ever imagined. Towering blades of grass looked like skyscrapers, and a simple garden hose was a roaring river he had to cross. He met other creatures along the way. A wise old beetle taught him how to read the stars to find his way, and a friendly ladybug shared her berry, giving him the strength to carry on. Each day brought new challenges, a sudden rainstorm that felt like a flood, a hungry spider lurking in the shadows. But with every obstacle he overcame, Pip's own song grew stronger, more confident. His chirps were no longer just sounds in the night. They were the soundtrack to his incredible quest. Just as he thought he was invincible, Pip faced his greatest trial. He tumbled into a deep, dark hole, a forgotten footprint left by a giant. The world went silent. His wings were bruised, his spirit dampened. For days he sat in the darkness, his song fading into a whisper of despair. He thought of turning back, of giving up on his dream of the sunken grove. But then, in the suffocating silence, he remembered why he started. He recalled the beetle's wisdom, the ladybug's kindness, and the dream that sparked his journey. He wasn't just hopping for himself. He was carrying the hopes and stories of everyone he'd met. Gathering every ounce of his remaining strength, Pip began to climb. It was slow, painful work, but with each push, his chirp returned, not as a cry for help, but as a declaration of his will to rise. He emerged from the darkness, not broken, but forged anew, stronger than ever before. Finally, guided by the stars and his own resilient heart, Pip arrived. The sunken grove was more magical than any story could describe. The air hummed with energy, and as he stood at its heart, the moonlight cascaded down, illuminating the grove in an ethereal glow. Pip took a deep breath and began to play his song. It was a melody rich with the sounds of his journey, the rustle of the clover, the rush of the garden hose river, the silence of the fall, and the triumphant crescendo of his rise. And then it happened. The moonlight seemed to shimmer and dance, weaving its light with his notes, creating a symphony of sight and sound. The grove sang back. Pip had not only found his destination, he had found his voice, his purpose. His song of courage would echo through the meadow, inspiring countless others to listen to the melody in their own hearts and embark on their own adventures. Pip's journey teaches us that courage isn't about the absence of fear, but about singing your song even when you're afraid. It's about getting back up after you fall and knowing that every step, every stumble, adds a beautiful new note to your unique melody. So, what's your song? What's your sunken grove? Thanks for joining us on this little adventure. If you enjoyed Pip's story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales that warm the heart. Until next time, keep listening for the music in your life.